SSWH3b, and now the ancient Roman. Greek and Roman religion. Haha, King Triton. He's Disney. But Poseidon and Neptune, they are Greek and Roman. The Greeks and the Romans practiced polytheism, all of which is told in their mythological stories. They passed this culture back and forth between the two, thus being a part of greater culture. Greek and Roman religion. As previously mentioned, they shared many of the same religious concepts, gods, goddesses, and legends alike. Part of this was attributed to the Hellenistic diffusion that went from Greece to Rome. Hot dog! The Roman Republic. As pictured in the bottom left, one of the first sets of laws was the law of 12 tables, or 12 tablets, displayed for all to know, the law of the Republic. They were governed by 2 consuls, who after acting as consul and head of the government became senators at the end of their term. There were 300 senators who were in charge of the government, and they served for life. Assisting them were the tribunes. They guarded the rights of the plebeians, yet served for only 1 year, and represented a vast majority of the Roman populace. Social classes of the Roman Republic. The patricians were the wealthy landowners, as pictured to the left. And the plebeians were the common farmers, artisans, and merchants, who were a vast majority of the populace of Rome. Now, the plebeians, though represented, were for the most part barred from holding positions, and eventually tribunes emerged to really advocate for them. The Punic Wars. Rome versus Carthage. The Punic Wars was a series of 3 wars stretching from 246 to 146 BCE. They were mainly between the Roman Republic and Carthage, a former Phoenician colony. In the Second Punic Wars, as pictured to the right, the General Hannibal led elephants through the Alps and sacked the city of Rome, which made Rome extremely angry. In fact, enough to move on to Carthage in the Punic War. And in the Third Punic War, they salted the city. How would you like that? Yes, that just happened. They salted the city so bad that legend has it became uninhabitable. How sad for them. But moving on. The Roman Republic eventually began to crumble, After the Punic Wars, it became unstable. Economic turmoil ensued, and thus, eventually, civil war emerged, as tribunes tried to reform the republic, yet people could not find a way to get along. Instead, we saw the first triumvirate emerge to attempt to stabilize the republic. Crassus, Pompey, and Caesar formed the first triumvirate. However, the Senate became displeased with the first triumvirate. Thus, as Caesar took power and became lifelong dictator in the year 44 BCE, he began to reform society, endear the people, yet anger the Senate, angry enough to kill. Watch out. That's right. On March 15th, 44 BCE, Julius Caesar met his death as he realized his friends were a bunch of backstabbers. Literally, et tu, Brute, and return, and go. That's right, more civil war after Caesar's death. A second triumvirate made up of Octavian, Mark Antony, and Lepidus ruled for 10 years. Jealousy and violence overtook them, and eventually the rivalry became too steep. Yet Augustus Caesar emerged as the ruler, and he kicked off a period known as Pax Romana, which lasted for roughly 207 years. No, Augustus was not the ruler for that long. That would be ridiculous. The empire's territory grew, and so did its vast network of roads. The road system allowed them to transport goods and military swiftly, one of the most advanced systems of its age. As times changed, so too did religion in the Roman world. Originally, Christians were persecuted, fed to lions. They were fodder for entertainment. However, over time, Christianity gradually came to be accepted throughout the Roman world. Eventually, Christianity became Rome's religion. Thanks to the help of people like Peter and Paul, Christianity spread throughout the empire. Emperor Constantine ended the outright persecution of Christians when he converted to Christianity, and then Emperor Theodosius officially made Christianity the empire's religion. As a result of the enormity of the Roman Empire, Emperor Diocletian split the empire west and east in an effort to preserve its stability, or what was left. Unfortunately, the Western Roman Empire collapsed. Some of the factors for their collapse include economic weakness. The money was highly inflated. Its value was down. Thus, the economic strength and stability was no longer present. Trade could no longer flow easily along the dilapidated roads of the Roman Empire. Trade along the sea was no longer consistent. The military was overextended. An empire of this size needed a gigantinormous military. Yet, they had too much territory to cover, and a general lack of loyalty to the emperor. They were primarily loyal to the dollar, and now dollars were becoming worthless. Invasions from all over. Invasions from Germanic tribes such as the Goths, Ostrogoths, and Visigoths. Additionally, from further in the east, the Huns, led at one point by Attila the Hun, came in and also invaded the Roman Empire. Eventually, the West collapsed, yet the Eastern Empire remained and became what was known as the Byzantine Empire. Thus, we now come to understand the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire. Ta-da!